Brodes Media.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Before we get to the show, if you are new to the channel, smash the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button as well. Over on Twitter, at Brodes81, that is my personal account. Smash the follow button there. And lastly, BrodesMedia.com. I've been implementing a lot of blogs there. I've been writing content. Make sure you check that out. It's a no-brainer. All right, with that being said, enjoy the show. I just have to say, if you believe this team lost the game because Matt Vierling didn't start over Freddy Galvis, wow. That's all. Okay, let's get into it. What is going on, everyone? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Brodes. Not exactly what we wanted to see game one of this series, knowing that they really needed a sweep. This is so damn difficult, and it's going to be so damn brutal, and the inevitable is basically looking at us in the face, even though the inevitable was told to us about 3 months ago. It's a shame. Zack Wheeler pitched an outstanding game. He gave you 7 strong innings. He finished with 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts. Charlie Morton on the other side, though, 10 Ks in his 7 innings. It's just one of those nights where you did not cash in on opportunities to start the game off. Odubel Herrera, Gene Segura both get on base. I thought, okay, all right, some life. Maybe there's some juice here. Punch them early, baby. Let's go. Kick them in the testicles, baby. Let's go. Bryce Harper ends up grounding out. There's an out there. JT Realmuto strikes out with someone on third. We got him over to third. Because when Bryce grounded out, you got a first and third situation. Beat out a throw to first to break up a double play. JT strikes out. Brad Miller can't accomplish the goal. And honestly, I felt that was a momentum switch, even though it was so early. You're on the road. Charlie Morton barely throws any pitches after drama, after traffic on the base paths squeaks by. Life in the building. Momentum switches. Instead of, who knows, 1-2-0. Think about what that can establish confidence-wise. And you can see the difference, the negative effect, the complete opposite of confidence. It goes in the wrong direction when you don't pounce. And then what do you know? Inning by inning by inning, you're very limited. The 4th inning came around, 2 walks with 2 outs. Hey, make them pay. They make a mistake, make them pay. Nope. Didi Gregorius strikes out swinging. 9th inning, Vierling with the shot to the outfield. Misplayed, Rosario. Make them pay. Now, that's where there's a lot of drama today. The drama is about Joe Girardi in the 9th inning and the way that things were handled. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have a huge problem in the world with it. I'm not telling you I love your options. I'm telling you this team is what they are for a reason. You're acting as if, oh, well, Joe Girardi's so dumb. The obvious answers were sitting on the bench. He screwed the entire game up. The reason why they lost, how dare Joe Girardi make those decisions? We're now bitching and complaining that Alec Bohm not pinch hitting is such a disastrous concept. The guy got demoted because he sucked. The guy got demoted because he wasn't good enough. Well, Brodes, it was because he wasn't good enough defensively. Yeah, that's part of it. He was not good at the plate either. He was not successful enough. If he was, he would have been here. It was more than just the defense. Rhys Hoskins blows defensively. Look at his offensive numbers. Look at what he does. Don't just tell me, oh, we hit 245 from the surface as if that's good. He hasn't been up in the major leagues. So the season's on the line. Let me get this straight. The season's on the line, basically. You need a clutch hit on the road. And Alec Bohm, the guy who hasn't even been here because he hasn't been good enough, is the obvious choice. And this is the other response I'm getting. Brodes, come on, man. He's been heating up in AAA. Recently, he's been fine. First off, AAA is AAA. It's not Major League Baseball. And number 2, fine, if you're going just off of recency bias, Didi Gregorius, lefty, just hit a major moonshot for you recently to help win you a baseball game 8-6 in a crucial moment. If you're going by recent success, Didi has done it lefty. And with Freddy Galvis, like, I don't love these options, okay? But Alec Bohm is not the obvious choice to the point now where I have to rip apart Joe Girardi for this. That's searching. That's reaching. There's plenty of times where things are right out in front of you. When Hector Neris becomes unavailable because he's constantly getting up and going down in the bullpen, yeah, you know what? That's an issue. And he has mishandled the bullpen and mishandled players this season. Absolutely. Tonight, you're reaching for answers. First off, think about this offense all night long. Not making the proper adjustments at the plate. You saw Charlie Morton using backdoor stuff. Catching it on you on the backdoor. Trying to pull it. Classic. Just a really poor approach all around. So whether it was Freddy, whether it was Didi, and look, if Alec Bohm went in there instead of Didi, I'm having the same exact conversation. Like, okay. It's not Didi's the obvious choice either. So I'm not going to ridicule him. All three of these options suck right now. Freddy Galvis was in a tough stretch. Didi Gregorius, lefty. You can talk about his numbers on the road. You can speak about lefty in general. More times than not, the outcome that you're going to see. I gotcha. The reason why we lost, you got to fire Joe. Joe's dumb. Joe's an idiot. Relax. I don't get it. Did you watch the baseball game? That falls 15th on my list of issues tonight. Let's break down some of these at-bats, shall we? That's more of where my concern is. JT. Sucks. It really does. It sucks. I thought early you had a chance. I'll tell you what, though. In the ninth inning, when everything was playing out, I was on the edge of my seat with my heart beating pretty damn fast. The fastest it's beaten all season long for Philadelphia Phillies baseball. I pretty much know where we're going to be here towards the end, which is not in the postseason. But I will say I had nerves and I was anxious and I had to get up off of my couch and stand 2 feet from my TV with my arms crossed, just waiting to see what's about to go down, right? So I was at that level, right? And prior to that, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, my elbows dug into my kneecaps, dug into my upper thighs, and I can't sit still. My legs are shaking. That's the closest feeling I've had to playoff baseball. And realistically, there's one chance for that to happen again, because if they fall tomorrow, see you later. So there's limited time for that. And during the moment, I was weirdly smiling throughout, going, just embrace this. No matter what the outcome is, no matter what the answer is, no matter if you lose or if Freddy Galvis comes up big, just appreciate this moment. It was a weird spot for me emotionally when I was doing that. And speaking of that Freddy Galvis AB, you know, you talk about the off-speed pitches that were thrown, and literally in my brain, I'm going, well, you got to sit fastball here. You can't sit off-speed because the fastball comes your way, and then, of course, Will Smith, the fastball goes right down the middle of the chute, and yeah, he got away with one. If you have a real hitter, if you have a successful batting order and a successful lineup, that pitch is definitely getting shelled, but I didn't think Didi put a bad swing on it over to right field, by the way. It's not as if his at-bat was so egregious that it wasn't justifiable. If Alec Bohm had that same exact flyout, you say, well, I mean, it was fine logic. You put in Bohm instead of Didi. It was a nice hit to right field. It just ended up getting caught. It was more of a just unfortunate circumstance. It wasn't bad wood on the ball or anything like that. It wasn't a bad bat on the ball. That's what you would have said about Alec Bohm's swing with the same exact result. I don't know. I just don't get it. My brain works a lot differently than others, I guess. But yeah, Will Smith was kind of hitting a level where maybe, just maybe, it was there in that ninth. Bryce Harper with an outstanding at-bat in the ninth, working some really close pitches. And I know the fans didn't love it, but if you saw the box, especially that last one to put him on first base, it was close, no doubt about it, but it was a hair underneath of that strike zone there. Close, and there were some close ones involved, but Bryce Harper earned that at-bat. But it goes back to, we always talk about these solo shots and nobody getting on base for Bryce. And I'm not going to sit here and rip apart Bryce Harper. But that first inning, you just think about, hey, finally there's someone on base in front of him. Here we go. You couldn't have dialed this up any better. This couldn't have been a better spot. Like, you think about starting this game off. You're on the road. You could take away some of their life, some of the energy in the building, take a couple-run lead. Damn, Bryce, damn. Disappointing. But yeah, Wheeler was great. I mean, Wheeler has been great all season long. When he throws that fastball, sometimes you just admire it. You sit there and you admire it. It's beauty. Hector came in late. Freddie had a poor play defensively that made things a little bit uncomfortable. But yeah, other than that third inning, really, with Zack Wheeler maybe not being the sharpest, but still, I mean, you talk about 2 runs. You needed offense to score. You basically scored because of a big bloop. Not a bloop as if it's a blooper, but a big blooper, if you will, in terms of somebody making a mistake out in the outfield in Rosario. This season and this division has been so crazy, so wild, so bizarre that I thought maybe, even though the Braves handle business more than the Phillies do, and they're a tick above the Phillies, which is not hard to be above them, but they're in a little bit of an atmosphere right above the Phillies, right? They still lose emotional ones. They still have issues. Their bullpen can be hits. Will Smith can be hits. This team can have a tough day at the office. So just to make this the NL East, just to make this what it is, which is a total nightmare of a division, maybe, just maybe, it would benefit the Phillies. But the way I saw this kind of playing out was a couple different ways. You win with Zack Wheeler, you lose with Aaron Nola, and then the Kyle Gibson game's a flip of the coin because, of course, Max Fried goes tomorrow. Then I thought, well, you lose with Wheeler, and you think, oh, no, we're all screwed. Somehow Aaron Nola pulls a fantastic game out of his ass, and then the Kyle Gibson one's a flip. Those are kind of your options. I don't know. Like I said, this year has been wow. So do you think it's just going to end here in a normal way, in this non-painful way, more of just you're running off into the sunset, if you will, or will there be one last tie or that one last tug-of-war match with your emotional strings going back and forth? Or was that kind of what that 9th inning was tonight, I guess? I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to kind of look at it, but yeah, it stings. I was really looking forward to a big-time victory. Oh, I was so pumped up. For it. Thinking how awesome it would be to go into tomorrow night, think about 7:05 all day, because that's what happened during this day. You had your horrendous Eagles game Monday night that bled into Tuesday morning with a really late or early upload, depending on how you look at it. And you go, you got some meaningful baseball. You basically have a playoff game today. That was the only thing on my mind. Let's go Phillies all day. That's what I was literally singing in my head all day. Let's go Phillies. Making my coffee. I guess I'm going to have to admit here, I don't have that same energy for tomorrow. Sucks. I wish I did. Now it's survive mode. So we're going to get to the Anytime Hotline, hear from you. The Anytime Hotline is brought to you by Orbit Energy and Power. With over 20 years of experience in the solar industry, Orbit Energy and Power is home to your solar experts in both residential and commercial projects. At Orbit, they're dedicated to making sure your project is completed easily and properly by using high-quality materials and trained professionals to get the job done right. Orbit also provides water purification, backup energy services, battery storage, electrical upgrades, new roofs, heating and cooling, and so much more. So make sure you check out their information down below in the description. Okay, let's start the Anytime Hotline calls off now. Here we go.
Hey, Brodes. I was just at the game. First time caller. It was nerve-wracking. I was in the last inning. I thought we actually had a chance when, what was that guy's name, dropped the ball?
Eddie Rosario.
Yeah, Rosario dropped the ball. And then it just went downhill from there. But love the show, though. Thanks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Thank you so much for calling in as you leave the game. I mean, that's pretty damn awesome to be in that environment, even though it's a loss. Like, I always want to go to the Braves stadium and check it out and go to their ballpark and kind of, experience a road game there. That's something that I think I've touched on that pretty recently here, whether that was on Coffee with Brodes or another Sports Talk with Brodes podcast. I definitely would love to see that atmosphere. But I honestly felt there was a chance too. Like, I didn't feel like that was fake. I thought that ninth inning was going to be a surge. There would be runs scored. It would be intense. You would clench a little bit. The sphincter might go in a certain direction. And it did. It felt real. It didn't feel fake. And it all started with your MVP caliber player at the plate earning such a respectful walk. A damaging walk. A heartbreaking walk if you're the Braves. Here we go. Let's see what we got. And some nice swings. I like some of these balls that were off the bat were not horrendous. Solid strokes. Just unfortunate. It felt real. It really did. Thank you so much for calling in. What's next?
I don't know how they keep doing it. Everybody says, that's it, I'm done. I don't care. I'm not going to watch anymore. If I don't watch, then I won't be as hurt. I don't care. I know they've already been eliminated. I know they're this. I know they're done. I know they're this, whatever. Yet every single goddamn time I turn on the game, and I expect something different. I don't know how they do this to me. How weak of a person am I? I know mathematically they're not eliminated yet, but I don't care. Okay? There's 100% chance that they are not making the playoffs. This team doesn't want to win. They don't want to be in the playoffs, other than maybe 2 or 3 guys. Absolutely ridiculous. Not pinch hitting for Didi. Galvis is over 17. Like, these decisions don't make any sense at all. I'm just sick of it. I don't know how they get me back in every time. I always say, I'm done. I'm out. They can't fool me again. Here they are. Fooling me again. Go Sixers? I don't know, I guess. Go Union? Who fucking cares?
All right. Well, you know my stance at this point on the whole Joe Girardi thing. Yeah, it's not ideal. Those options are not ideal. It's not as if, though, Barry Bonds was on the bench and Joe Girardi thought, let's not use Barry Bonds in a clutch spot. Let's use Alec Bohm. It doesn't register in my brain, and it honestly makes me feel uncomfortable that there's that much passion, there's that much rage, there's that many people upset. What you're doing is you're trying to point the finger. You're forcing it. Who can I blame? Where can I blame this? How can I blame Joe? Sometimes it just comes down to all of your options suck. And when all of your options suck in a big moment, you're not good. You're not good. How many times have I had to say that phrase? The team is where they are for a reason. We're even here to begin with. The caller brings up emotionally, like I get sucked back in all the time. I keep constantly telling myself there's a chance. I expect something different. That's the problem. Why are you expecting anything different? So, why do we continue to watch? Well, after 125 games, 130 games or so, what's 20 more? What's 30 more? We love the sport. We're in for a reason. We're this invested already for a reason. So after 130-something games, when you clearly already know the identity of the team and the direction of the organization, if you're still hanging on and you're still watching from night to night and you're still this outraged and this emotional every time something happens, well, that's because we love the damn sport. Where I'm losing you is, well, of course, with the Joe Girardi decision and the hatred of, but also the expecting the different style of play when you tune in. That's where things need to change. So I somewhat expected this, right? To fall flat on your face against the Atlanta Braves on the road in the second to last series of the season. How many people, if you were to take a poll, legitimate, with, I don't know, maybe let's use Maury if we're on Maury, or if we're on the, what's the other one? Jerry Springer, which I went to live, by the way. I'll tell that story in just a second. But the lie detector on, I would say 85% of people, if not more, would go, yep, probably a loss. So why expect the wild difference when you were checking in? But anyway, back to the Jerry Springer thing. So we were playing junior hockey. If you don't know about junior hockey, it's pretty much after high school, before college. You go away, you live with a billet family, or you live with your teammates in housing, in apartments, in a house, and you just play hockey. It's a way to develop your game before you go to college. You go to college as pretty much a 20, 21-year-old freshman. Anyway, the owner of our team, we were going to a college showcase in Connecticut at the time. He said, bring your ID. Got to be 18 years old. We had a couple younger players who were nasty that weren't 18, so there was a bit of a debacle. We're thinking, what? Is this guy taking us to a strip club? Where could we be going? We went to fucking Jerry Springer. We went to Jerry Springer. I see all these people flashing their boobs in front of us. They got beads around their neck. They're flashing the cameras. We're like, what? What is going on here? Fake as can be, by the way. It's pretty much actors getting their first gig, and that's them on camera. They tell you when to cheer. They tell you when to chant Jerry. It's all nonsense when you see it behind the scenes. But anyway, that's something I did not anticipate sharing or telling on a Phillies versus Braves. The series is basically over podcast. But there you have it. I think that also defines Phillies baseball, right? What? What is happening? Yeah, that's exactly where we are with this conversation. What's next?
There's a fucking reason why I stopped watching this team from the middle of August all the way up to the fucking Pirates series at the end of September. Okay? This team fucking sucks. And the fact that you couldn't hit a single ball at all tonight, and the only run you scored was because the outfielder of the Braves tipped the ball off his glove like an idiot? That's how you score the one run in this game? This team is one word and one word only. Pain. Pain, pain, pain. This is meaningful baseball that we've gotten in the last decade. Why the fuck are we even watching this team?
Because we love baseball, okay? We know that. We love baseball. I couldn't take the break that you took, stopping in the middle of the summer, not tuning in at all. If that's really how it transpired for you and that's what you did, to each their own, you're entitled to doing that. You're allowed to do that if you're extremely frustrated. I still can't. Even through the frustration, I'm rolling through it. And yeah, you're right. This is meaningful baseball. This is how you come out in a meaningful game. Yeah, they're not that good, and they shouldn't be here to begin with. But when you're in a bad division, you're in there by default. And this is the result that really should have been expected. So, yeah, you're going to fail against Charlie Morton and look like you don't know what you're doing. Why? Because you know who raised their intensity too? Charlie Morton. Right? Imagine being Wheeler getting the ball. Did you see the way he threw? Where Charlie Morton's doing the same damn thing. And guess what? The mindset's a different level when it's game 62 of the regular season and then this, right? So Charlie Morton, and I know the batters have to counter and the batters have to be in this different state of mind as well because this is the playoff series, essentially. Must win. But Charlie Morton took it to the nth degree, took it to the nth level here. And he was ridiculous. He's one of those just savvy veterans. You can spit out numbers, and even I know I said before the series began, hey, you can get to him. It's not as if he's a world beater, and that's the truth. He's not, but he's also able to put up a consistent outing too. He had some good stuff tonight. Phillies also didn't adjust. He had some nasty stuff tonight, though. There's a reason why his previous teams had success. Banging trash cans, I guess that's on the table as well. I can't rule that out of the equation. Maybe that's why they had some success as well.
Hey, Brodes. I'm just calling to say that this Phillies game, it pretty much represents the entire season. It's not shocking. I feel numb to it, you know. Every time I think they could reach greatness, they just squander it. So that's my message.
Well, thank you for your message. Numb to it, I guess, is a very good way to describe it as well. We've been through it so many times. We've seen the ups and downs. We've witnessed this team score 7 runs in a game, and then they go through a handful of games where they can barely get anything done. And keep in mind, they only got the job accomplished today by putting a number 1 on the board because of a crucial mistake that happened on the other side. So without that, you're talking about the Pirates game, shutout. Possibly in this game, shutout. So it's nothing nothing new. We are numb to this style of play. It's very up, it's very down. It's very up, it's very down. When it's up, it's JT's clicking, Didi's playing well, Andrew McCutchen, the bat speed through the zone. I've stressed that a billion times this year. Bryce Harper, MVP level. Gene Segura, 300 hitter. Odubel Herrera creating some buzz at the top of the order, maybe giving you 2 hits and maybe even a walk in there, or a 2-for-5 day with a run or 2 scored after getting on base and then the others behind him, somewhat moving him along the base paths, or a big bomb by, I don't know, who knows, Gene Segura, 2 in a game, just spitballing. It's so crazy. It's so bizarre. So for all the nice ones, there's these. And that happens in baseball, right? There's great days and bad days, and that's why you basically plug in 60 wins and 60 losses every year and you figure out the rest. But it can't happen now. It's unacceptable now. It's unacceptable the rate that it's happened. When it's over and over and over and over again and it's nonstop, well, yeah, I mean, it's more defining of who you are. All right, let's take one more here.
Well, Brodes, the Phillies lose the first of 3 games to the Braves, 2-1. I mean, we didn't even see any homers in this game. Our only run came by Bryce Harper in the 9th inning, and I don't even know what to say. We need to win these next 2 games and sweep the Marlins to even make the playoffs. Like, Brodes, I just don't see this happening. And all that we've been through with this team over the years, I just want to see us make the playoffs. I think I'm speaking on behalf of every Phillies fan right now. We just need to make the friggin' playoffs. And honestly, I don't think we're going to.
I don't either, and I think what you have to do to convince yourself that you got some sort of playoff baseball in there is tell yourself this is the playoff baseball series. And it's unfortunate that they'll be coming up small, but it also makes sense because that's what this team has done basically all year. They have come up small in a lot of different areas, in a lot of different series. We'll probably turn back the clocks and look specifically at Arizona on the road, and that was that turning point of a huge dagger, and then eventually it was just twisted in your back throughout the back half of the schedule with some of those other losses in there as well. So, yeah, you know what? You have to trick your brain into telling you got playoff baseball. And if they win tomorrow, maybe it feels a little bit more for that 3rd game. Right now, it's a really weird spot because they lost game 1. If they won game 1, game 2, there'd be that extra step, right? There'd be that extra level. The meter would be up a bit higher. So it would be there. Not the case for tomorrow. But if they win tomorrow, then we get that edge again. If we get that rush again, we get that energy boost again for game 3. You have to treat this as getting into the playoffs because that's what this is. And we haven't had that for years. I don't love the way that we went about it, but this is the closest we've gotten to that. I also don't want this to fool Dave Dombrowski, though, because if you think to yourself, well, this is what they are. They're super close. They're not that far away. They're trending in the right direction. Last 2 seasons were abysmal back here. When we talk about September and October baseball this year, they hung in there, and think about the disaster at third base and the issues with some of the blown saves. If we clean that up, maybe we're not that far off. Well, here's the difference. The Braves healthy are not this. And if the Braves are not this and they're extremely better, you're not as close to a division title. You're not that good. So please don't make it as if you are. Don't let this trick you. I have faith in Dave Dombrowski that he understands that. He's not a fool. He's been around the game too long. There's already been moves made. This organization has been impacted by his fingerprints. It takes a while. It takes a little bit of time. Let's see what happens from there. So that's where we're at today. We'll continue to keep our eyes on this squad. Of course, Aaron Nola, Max Fried tomorrow. Geez, good luck, Phillies. I want to thank you all so much for hanging out, and I will see you next time. But real quickly, it's been a great start to the NFL season, and it's only getting better at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. DraftKings is kicking off another week of action by giving all new customers a can't-miss offer. Bet just $1 on any football game this week and receive $150 in free bets instantly, no matter what. And this football season, all customers can swing big with DraftKings same-game parlays. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code Brodes to receive $150 in free free bets instantly when you place a $1 bet on any football game. That's promo code Brodes to get $150 in free bets instantly this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older. Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Okay, thank you all so much, and we'll see you next time.